Welcome to this 5th lesson in Biblical Hebrew, and in this lesson we're going to be talking about how to pronounce the vowels. And I've left it to this point because the pronunciation of Hebrew is crucial to A, getting it right, and B, actually enjoying it. The main reason why I think it's important to be able to pronounce Hebrew is so that you can actually say the words out loud and really savour them. I think most Christians who want to learn Hebrew do so not because they want to become biblical specialists, but because they just want to enjoy immersing themselves in their Bible. And I hope that by learning to put some effort into pronouncing Hebrew accurately, you will actually enjoy it all the more. The other two reasons for pronouncing it accurately are so that you can actually read the Hebrew out loud, which actually helps you learn it. It's long been acknowledged that if you vocalize a language, then it's more likely to go in, because a lot of the Hebrew words bear no relation to English words at all. And so getting used to what they sound like will help you learn it. And the third reason is because in Hebrew, the actual vowel sounds are part of the grammar. So do pay attention to some of the details of this video because they're really quite important for the rest of the course. Before we begin to look at how we actually make sounds with our mouths, I just want to explain about how the vowels in Hebrew affect the grammar of the language. So I'm going to just pop up 3 letters on here for you. Mem, Lamed, and Kaf. And if we put these vowels underneath both sicols, we get the word melech, which is the Hebrew word for a king. If I get rid of those vowels and replace them with a kametz and a pathach, you end up with the verb he reigned. So the vowels themselves dictate the meaning of the word, and that's why it's really important that we pronounce the vowels correctly. So let's move on and start to look at how we actually make the vowel sounds with our mouths. And I'm going to start off by drawing a diagram. Here is a square, and this square represents a cross section of your mouth. So just to give you some idea about how that works, here's your nose sticking up here, and then if your mouth is open, you've got your lips there with the top teeth, and the bottom lip there with the bottom teeth, and then the chin goes underneath, and then down your neck, and the back of your head goes up there, and your ear will be up here somewhere. Now, in your mouth, your tongue sits in a sort of a heap at the bottom, and where the top of that heap is how we denote where the vowel sounds are coming from. So let me just simplify this a little bit by getting rid of the unnecessary head bits. So there we have our diagram of the mouth, and the front of the mouth is here, the back of the mouth is here, and the throat is going down that way. So here is what we call the middle vowel, because the top of the tongue is pretty much near the middle of the mouth. And the middle vowel, or the central vowel, is a very lazy vowel. It's a short vowel, and it's pronounced It's the sort of thing that you would say if you were being lazy or you were speaking very quickly. And so this central vowel is the vowel that is the noise that we make when we're using a vocal schwa. So if I just draw a vocal schwa with its the letter Beth next to it. That would be pronounced B, and we transliterate it, as you remember, with a superscript E. All the other vowels happen in relation to this central vowel. So you might move the top of your tongue in any of these directions, and as that top of the tongue moves around, it changes the vowel. And of course, to move the tongue in any of those directions requires effort, and so some of these vowels you have to actually work at it and make your tongue move so that you're pronouncing them properly. So let's just write down roughly which vowels occur in which places. So we'll start off up on the top left, which is the front of the mouth. And here we have the U sounds. Then as you come down the front, it turns more into an O sound, and then into a short A sound. As you go to the back, it becomes a long A sound, and then we have, as you move up the back of the mouth, the E sounds, finally with the I sounds at the top. And these are just broad descriptions. As you move the tongue around, you get different variations between them. So if I were to just move my tongue around in an anti-clockwise direction like that, you will get a sound that sounds something like this. Ooh. Sounds a bit weird, but you get the idea that as the tongue moves around, each of these vowels is pronounced. So now let's see how that fits in with the Hebrew vowels that we have been looking at. So let's start off then with the two U sounds, which are shurek and that's the long U, and kibbutz, which is the short U. Then coming down further to the middle of the front, we have cholem, the long O, and kamet chatuf, the short O. And at the bottom of the front, we have pathach, the short A. Going to the back at the bottom, we have kametz, which is the long A. Then halfway at the back, we have tzere, which is the long E, and sigol, short E. And then at the top, at the back, we have the long hirek, and the short hirek. Let's just tidy up that long hirek. It's looking a bit weird. There we go. Just a dot. So as you move your tongue, you get each of these vowels. So moving up to the top front, you get shurek, bu, kibbutz, bu. Then moving to the middle of the front, we have cholem, bo, and kamet chatuf, bo. Then going to the front, at the bottom we have pathach, ba, and at the back, kametz, ba. Middle at the back, We have sere, be, sigol, be, and top of the back, two chirets, long chirek, b, and short chirek, b. And then we have the composite shawas. Now, these are half vowels, very short, and they're a combination of the central vowel, which is this one, with each of these three short vowel sounds. So we have Khatef Kametz, which is the top of the tongue occurs about here. So that would put this there, and that's that one. And then we have the Khatef Pathach, which would go about here. And that's that one. And then the Khatef Sehol, which will occur about there. So just to vocalize those for you, we start off with Khatef Kametz, and it's halfway between and o. So it's It's not quite one or the other, halfway between. Similarly with Khatef Pathak, it's halfway between and a, and it's a. And then the third one, Khatef Sechol, halfway between and e, and it's more of a sort of a e sound. Very subtle differences with these three, but if you can feel where your tongue is in your mouth, so your tongue, top of the tongue is either here, here, or here, as opposed to further out, you'll know you're getting it vaguely right. So do practice making these sounds and what it feels like with your tongue in your mouth. Is the tongue in the middle, or is it stretching to get to the edges like that, or is it just going a little bit of the way like that to get the composite schwa? So that's how the vowels work within our mouth. So that's how we do the vowel sounds, and now you need to practice those. But before you can practice those, we need to go on to lesson 6, which is how to pronounce the consonants, and then you can really get to grips with some of the Hebrew words.